folks, Tom Vasel here. Welcome to the AlphaBest series of lists where I give my top 10 games for each letter of the alphabet. Wow, I like a lot of games, and some of these letters are harder than others. S was a hard letter to do, not because of all the great games, not because I had a hard time thinking of games, but all the great games I had to cut out. In fact, some people have been speculating that I might as well just have called the list Star. That is not quite the case here. And in fact, I believe only 2 of the games on my list start with the word star, which I thought was pretty good. So let's get to number 10, which starts with the word smash, and that's Smash Up. Smash Up from AEG is a game where you take 2 decks of cards and smash them together. So maybe you have ghosts and you have pirates, or you have robots and dinosaurs, or you have pretty princesses and vampires. Okay, whatever you want. There's so many expansions, so many things. They just had a new expansion come out that has tornadoes and sharks that you can mix together. All right. And the game is just silly fun as you're sitting there playing minions and actions and trying to control different regions and fighting each other. I think it works really well as a 3-player game. I love it a lot, love the artwork, love the mashup, love that it doesn't take too long. Smash Up. Number 9 is Stellar Conflict. This is a game that just was re-released this year. Originally it came out, it was called Lightspeed, but they remade it called Stellar Conflict, and Stronghold Games is bringing it to the States, which I'm pleased. This is a game in which you're throwing cards on a table. There's spaceships, you're like, ready, go, and it's real time. You're placing these spaceships on the board, wherever you want to place them, then you stop, and then you look at the spaceships. Each spaceship has shields, it has lasers. You look and see where the lasers shoot. Some spaceships shoot before other ones. Some have special abilities. So much fun. Stellar Conflict. The game actually takes longer to score than it does to play, but it's so satisfying. Number 8, Shadows over Camelot from Days of Wonder. This game in which you all played Knights of the Round Table, but one of you is a traitor. It sickens me. But what a good game. It's a game that I think took the cooperative gaming from being kind of a novelty to, well, wow, and now there's games all over the place, but I still think it holds up well later. The theme is a little loose, but it takes up to 7 players, plays so easily, I can teach new people it. Still my collection, Shadows over Camelot. Number 7 is Seasons. Seasons is I don't even know what the kind of definition of this game would be. It's a dice drafting game, maybe, where you roll some dice and each player picks a die to take. That die lets you take actions, which may be playing cards, which give you kinds of cool special abilities. You are in each other's faces. I think it works just as well with 2 players as it does with 3 and 4. The expansions added some more roles and stuff. They're not needed. The base game, it's fine. I think you should draft beforehand. But it offers a good in-depth card game that gives me some kind of maybe alternative to Magic the Gathering. It's not Magic the Gathering, but it fits that same kind of craving I have for like a cool card game where there's different cards affecting each other. Seasons is a great job. Also, fun artwork. Number 6, Suburbia. This is a city building game. City building game, which you're placing tiles out, and what you're building is like your section of the city. Because if I put a restaurant out, that's going to maybe make your restaurant not as popular anymore. And when I put this airport out, that might help your airport out, because now there's 2 airports in the city. So you're always thinking about how when you place things, how it helps other people. There's 2 expansions. The first one is highly recommended. The second one's okay, but they add more to that. I love the idea of building cities. I love the interaction in this game. Suburbia. And number 5, here we get with a Star Wars Armada. This is a game in which you have the big ships, which I love. I love the Imperial Star Destroyers and the Mount Calamari Cruisers and just big ships. You still have the X-Wings and they're flying around, and it simulates fleet combat, which I find incredibly satisfying. Some neat, I'm going to turn and move and then broadside you, and you're going to shoot back. It lets me play those big giant battles in Star Wars out on a fleet-wide scale. That's number 5. Number 4 is Spyfall. Spyfall is a simple game. One person's a spy, everyone else is at a location that the spy does not know. We ask each other questions. What are you wearing? What are you doing? What's your favorite movie? And we're listening to the answers, trying to find someone who's tripping up so that we can figure out that they're the spy, but without giving the spy too much obvious information about where we are. It's amazing. I played Spyfall so many times. It is a super fun experience. Highly recommend it. Number 3, Sheriff of Nottingham. This is in the Dice Tower Essentials line for good reason. This game is amazing. It takes the idea of just straight up lying to somebody. In this bag are 3 apples. I'm serious. They're like, there's not 3 apples in this bag. You're lying. Okay, maybe there is not. Look, I'll give you $5 if you just let this bag go through. No, I'm opening it. Hey, there was 3 apples. Yeah, that's right. I was telling the truth. Give me the money. So it rewards both truth-telling and lying and negotiation. Oh, I love this one, which is why I got it reprinted as Sheriff of Nottingham. Number 2, another Star game, Star Wars Imperial Assault. Take Descent, Dungeon Crawl, and then add the Star Wars theme? What? I remember first hearing about that, my mind was like, that is like everything I've ever wanted in a game. It's really cool. Although I'm surprised because the Descent part, they're like, oh, it can be a tactical game. I was like, whatever, a tactical game. I played this. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll play the tactical game. Then I played the tactical game again, then again, and again. The tactical game is pretty good. It's a neat game. It's Star Wars to the max. Love it. Star Wars Imperial Assault. And my number 1 game that starts with the letter S is from Plaid Hat Games, Summoner Wars. Summoner Wars was originally an attempt to take HeroScape, a game I like a lot, and make a card game version that felt the same way, and it works. Each person's a summoner. You have a small deck of cards. You use that deck to summon units and to be the units. It is so well balanced. I think there's 18 factions. I don't think anyone thinks one that faction is stronger than the rest. It's one of the best play-tested games in the world. It's quick, it's fast, and it gives you tactical movement. I love Summoner Wars. It's so easy. There's dice combat at the same time. I always feel like the better player wins. An amazing game, Summoner Wars. But you might say, hey, what about Say Anything, Sentinels of the Multiverse, Small World, Spectre Ops, Spike, Splendor, Star Trek Fleet Captains? You didn't mention those. Well, I just did. Those were all games that were on my short list, and they were so close to making the list. But these are my top 10 S games at this point in time. Whew! What are yours? Tell us in the comments. Tell me what I missed and should have had in there. We only have 2, 4, 6, 7 more lists to go in the AlphaBest series. We'll see you next time for the letter U. No, T, sorry. T's a great letter. How could I have forgotten it? Anyway, until then, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.